Welcome back. So, today I'm going to talk about Ghost Rider 2099, Silver Sable and the Wild Pack, Warlock and the Infinity Watch, Tales of Suspense introducing the Black Widow, and DC's Green Lantern. So I'm going to start off with Ghost Rider 2099, issue 2 from 1994. So basically Ghost Rider dismantled Yeater, the guy who actually killed his mortal body, and then the police showed up, chasing Ghost Rider away. So Ghost Rider basically is very highly technologically advanced, and he has apparently some very advanced camouflage ability. However, he did need to recharge, which he kind of missed, which caused him to basically be powerless when the police showed up. So he fights them, and eventually he is confronted by this big armored kind of guy. So, in Silver Sable and the Wild Pack issue 25 from 1994, Silver Sable and the Wild Pack naturally meets Silver Sable's uncle, Fritz, who works for the Genesis Coalition, who are pretty much against the whole Nazi Hydra thing, such as Silver Sable as well. However, Fritz manages to convince Silver Sable and the Wild Pack to be somewhat captured by him, so that he can basically work behind the lines to get them out and stop the whole coalition thing. Well, it turned out that was just bogus, and now they are basically captured. While this happens, as they are in Bosnia, and it's basically a full-out war out there between Genesis Coalition and S.H.I.E.L.D. and obviously Bosnia. Hydra basically shows up being pissed off that Coalition is basically looking like Hydra, basically saying that they are Hydra. And Baron Strucker uses his soldiers and the system Crash to basically fight them. It turns out that S.H.I.E.L.D., Hydra, and the Intruders, who are of course the mercenary team being somewhat led by Sandman, basically fights the Genesis Coalition, while Silver Sable and the Wild Pack actually were rescued by the Foreigner, being the ex-husband of Silver Sable. Foreigner basically takes Silver Sable to her father, who she believed to be dead until just now. And her father basically says that Fritz is insane. He is totally going out of the way to making things bad, basically, and he's not what he says he is. So Sable basically goes to fight the Genesis Coalition leader, called Trefkov, and actually kills him in cold blood because of what he somewhat at least did to her father. And then Fritz basically shows up to fight Silver Sable, but he is then killed by Foreigner, who shoots him in the back. It all ends, of course, kind of happily, as Silver Sable now has her, even though he's very injured, father back. So that ends that issue, and we're gonna go to another superhero team now, well, super team anyway. Warlock and the Infinity Watch, issue 29 from 1994. So this continues from previous issues where Maya was introduced. Basically, she turned up at the Monster Island, and now Warlock and the others needed answers. She explains that she basically is there because of Count Abyss. Count Abyss being someone who is supposed to be a very big villain to Adam Warlock, probably even will kill him, which causes a lot of trouble, of course, upon hearing this. However, Warlock basically takes Maya to a side, basically to talk in private. The others finds this a little bit disconcerting, but okay, he's the leader, you know. So Maya basically explains to Warlock about her being of the resistance of her own reality, and that she is, of course, she wants his help and the Infinity Watch naturally to stop Abyss. Of course, this is all a lie, at least as far as we know, and as she wants to basically celebrate their new alliance with some wine that she had brought. She takes this antidote, which turned out not to be an antidote, as Count Abyss basically decides to trick her as well. And the wine is laced with extremely powerful love potion, and both Warlock and Maya fall fake in love, I guess you can say. So more on this in the next issue. Now we're gonna go into a very special issue here. Tales of Suspense issue 52 from 1964. So this introduces the Black Widow. She, of course, is a Russian spy at the time, or at least a Soviet spy, naturally. So this whole thing is about the Soviets trying to get back both Vanko, Anton Vanko being the original Crimson Dynamo, who now is actually working for Tony Stark, and to basically ruin things for Tony Stark and naturally Iron Man. So basically Boris and Black Widow are sent to take care of these three targets. So they go to the United States, basically have a conversation with Tony Stark. Black Widow basically tries to seduce him, while Boris basically just walks around the place and finds Anton Vanko and paralyzed him with some kind of gun they had, and then took him and his Crimson Dynamo armor. So Boris poses as the Crimson Dynamo and he tricks Tony Stark, well, Iron Man, and takes Iron Man captive. So Iron Man basically awakens and rescues Vanko, and then he fights Boris yet again, and this time Anton Vanko basically sacrifices himself to kill Boris, basically blows them both up, and the Black Widow got away. Okay, so the last issue for today is DC's Green Lantern Volume 2, Issue 12 from 1962. So basically this future society from the year 5700 AD apparently needed a qualified solo director. So previously apparently they had used some kind of time scope that they can see back in time, and basically brought Green Lantern from the 60s obviously to their time to basically become this solo director. Apparently though the time travel thing wiped out one's memory, so they needed to create some fake ones, which they did. So they naturally needed him to fight some Cygors or whatever, then sent him back. Now though they need his help yet again with some rebellion. So they bring him back. He has the same memories that he had when he came to the future yet again, or before. He basically helps to fight the rebellion. He fights them, takes the three rebellion leaders and basically interrogates them. Finds out that the only thing that they actually remembered before blacking out was being hypnotized by this magician called Aldebaran. So basically Green Lantern needs to find this magician. He found him, but he was attacked by some kind of magical power or whatever, and he was unable to move any closer to Aldebaran. But he used a statue of himself to fight and defeat the villain. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. Do stay safe out there, and naturally all of this is Marvel's and DC's creation. I'm only telling the story. So have a good day.